Hi. Hi, Ronald. I'm just gonna play a short little ditty. How's everybody doing? Well, how's Ronald doing? I have one here so far. I hope some more people come in. But, anyways, hey, Les. Hi. Hi. And I didn't, I wanted my YouTube side not to start echoing. So so I didn't have it opened because before I had it open, but I thought I had the sound turned off. Can you guys hear me okay? Ronald, you're not allowed to say that word. Should I ban that word? Loves is a moderator, right, Loves? Keep an eye on Ronald, okay, Loves? Yeah, so I did a video on mental health, and it was hard for me to do, and I wasn't going to do this live on mental health again. I'm like, I don't want to do it again, but could be brave and do it. Yeah, I did. I just posted a video of my new place if you want to see it. Yeah, am I frozen? I look frozen on my end. How's the sound and everything coming in? You guys, thumbs up? How do I sound? Yeah, that's my bunny. That's my bunny. No? No what? So, as everybody knows, I have struggled with mental health in the past and depression. Interestingly, I didn't really have that much trouble with anxiety. I don't think I've ever had a panic attack. I've come close now to having a panic attack. Hey, Kenneth. I always forget to show the comments. Okay, you can hear me clear. That's good. There's an echo in here. I don't know what biffles are. No biffles? Biffies? No biffies? Okay. Hello, Kenneth. Hello. How are you? I got tea. This is supposed to be detox tea. I like this yogi tea because it always has a little message on it. And it says, be kind to yourself. Ronald, I think Loves and I prefer to be called beautiful and not sexy. Okay, Ronald? I'm going to throw my tea bag away. But I hung more pictures, and it's really good for me to be settled in a place here for a little while. I'm probably okay, Ronald. That's better. That's better. Because, you know, one day Loves and I, it's going to be a lot longer for Loves because I'm old already. We're going to be old, and then what are you going to call us? Oh, I got tea, and I got cherry 7-Up, diet cherry 7-Up. But this is my new mug. This is the thing I started collecting again first, is the mugs. I got mugs from several places. Gonna get a napkin here. So yeah, I struggled more with my mental health because I got upset with God, and I was trying to live my life without God, which didn't work very well for 2 years. And I started having more anxiety then. I think it's peaches or apricots because they're like orange, right? It says wild and free. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to spill my tea on the. It says wild and free inside the cup. Hey, Jolly Matilda. Hi. Hi. So anyways, I had more anxiety because I just felt like I had nothing to fall back on. And it's strange, but it kind of looks like cherries, but the color is like peaches or apricots or something. But so anyways, I struggled more with the anxiety and with just bad behaviors when I was away from God. And I feel like my codependency was worse. And I kept on getting involved with people who were, you know, maybe using me or just really not there for me. Like I'd be there for them, but they weren't really there for me. And so it just caused me a lot of problems when I was away from God, and it made my mental health worse. So, you know, I don't know about for other people, but I really think faith, some sort of faith, really helps, especially with me, with mental health. So, yeah. So, and I'm going to put links below again. They're not there yet, but just some YouTube channels that have helped me with my mental health. Gosh, there's a lot of them too. I keep on thinking of more. I like Lisa A. Romano. She talks a lot about codependency and childhood trauma and narcissists and a lot of stuff. And it's been very helpful to me. And I've been in her membership before, in her like Facebook group also. Yeah, faith and spirituality, just really like something, something. I feel like, you just, I haven't met a whole lot, and I couldn't even, I was bitter when I was away from God, and I just was getting like worse, really, because I just wasn't, I wasn't doing anything. I just met a neighbor, which is great, and she's Christian too. And I was telling her though that I'm going to hear Joyce Meyer, and she has a Joyce Meyer book actually, and I was saying like I couldn't listen to anybody, but I could still listen to Joy. I would still listen to Joyce Meyer sometimes. I could listen to her, and I could listen to Nadia Bolz-Weber, but I just got really. It just wasn't good when I was away from God, and I was agnostic though. I was saying I was agnostic. I was just saying I don't understand God. Maybe there's something out there. I really couldn't be an atheist, but I haven't met that many atheists, but the ones I have met seem very miserable. I mean, they really do, because like I think it makes more sense to be agnostic because nobody knows it all. Don't be a know-it-all, because you just don't know it all. Troy! My rat man's here. Yay! How's it going? I'm yelling like, you can't hear me. You're all the way in Oregon. Hey, moderators, you're my moderators. You can drop that link to my tour of my house, furnished, my apartment. I miss you too. Yeah, so I hung up my tree over here. I'm not going to hang up a lot more. I might only be here for 6 months, and I have the picture from Serenity Art Studios site, and I have that over there. It's called Coming Home. That's why I bought that one. But yeah. How's your dad, Troy? How's your dad doing? So yeah, it's been really helpful to me to get back to some sort of faith or spirituality, and it helped me reading this. When I was reading this for my devotions, it's helpful. And I like this book I got in because I was really struggling in October still, even though I came back to God in September. Good, that's good. Okay, did you do the recent one or the old one? Thank you. Yeah, because I just did the one with it furnished. There's the one with it unfurnished, and now the one with it furnished. I filmed that like 4 times because I kept going over, because there's more to see when it's all filled with my stuff. And I got my little table toys out. I have a Rubik's Cube. So when I did Airbnb, I had these little toys on the table. This guy on the kitchen table. People, this is a little horsey. He goes, well, maybe he doesn't work anymore. I had a kangaroo and he broke. A kangaroo used to flip. But I got these little things out. And then I was like, this is too much stuff. And I put some of it away. But I had a little, so a guest would come. Sometimes they draw, if they were good at this, they would draw little pictures on my little Etch-a-Sketch. And I have remember these things? Troy remembers these things. I got these in Mexico, actually, when I went on the mission trip. Oh, and look, I would get gifts from my Airbnb guests sometimes. This is one of those painted rocks. It says love, love, love. Oh, and my bowling. I did my bowling video, and it got over 1,000 views. I got my little bowling set and my little bowling pins. That was my favorite table toy that were on my kitchen table when I did Airbnb. But anyways, I discovered I have something. I'm wondering if it's worth anything. But so may the Queen rest in peace. And that got me to, I started watching The Crown again. And I have this crown. That is for Jesus, though. My crown tattoo was for a psalm. Which psalm is it? I think it's 20. Now I need to look it up. And it's about the king. It's Psalm 27, I think. Let me look it up. Look at this Bible I got from Coos Bay. It's like an antique Bible. But anyways, so a lot of things have helped me with my mental health. Just getting out of Georgia really did help with my mental health, honestly. I knew instinctively, and thankfully God worked in that, even though I was angry with him at that time, and I was sort of acting out uncharacteristically, acting out during that time, but I'm glad he worked all of that out. It's terrible that I can't remember which psalm. There's probably several psalms about the king, but anyways, it's from a psalm. And that's where this one, I used to say it all the time, and that's why I remembered when people would ask me about my tattoo. But anyways, I started watching The Crown, and then I remembered this. I have this plate, little from a tea set, And I think I have the sugar bowl too, but I can't find it, which is ridiculous because I don't have that much stuff. And I don't think I might have gotten rid of it. Somebody got a great treasure in Illinois, but I might have got rid of it, and I might have because I kept this. You guys, I freaked out when I realized this because I looked it up online today. I'm like, oh, it's the good king. It says 1937. And you know what? They must have made the plates before. It's the bad king. It's King Edward. King Edward the Eighth. So what do you think? What do you think that is worth? They didn't, because his brother got coronated on that day, not him, but my grandmother Hewitt, my dad's mom, who died when I was very young. She adopted my dad in 1928. She was from Edinburgh, Scotland. She was Scottish. And my grandfather, Hewitt, my dad's dad, they adopted him. He was from Liverpool, England. So, like the Beatles. And I thought I was going to find out when I did Ancestry.com. I thought I was going to find out that I was English, Irish. I'm 5% Irish. And I'm not even Scottish. I thought like, oh, I am, and my mom's mom, who was, her biological mom and her mom, she said, she was born in 1905. And she said, well, back then, she's like, usually it was someone in the family. But the Hewitts, they didn't have any family. They didn't have any family over here. We didn't, my dad didn't have any family, and he was an only child. So there's not anybody left. And there's not a whole lot left on Hi, Diana. I just showed them your picture. You want to see Diana's picture? I like it in the spot where I put it, Diana. So I in my kitchen. Here's the painting I got from Diana. Because I didn't hang up a whole lot, and I was very nervous about, like, I basically stuck him on the wall with the 3M stickers with the Velcro. You have two stickers and they go together like that, and you stick it on the wall. So I basically put a bunch, because first I only put 2, and it's not that heavy, but I put a lot more on. I don't know how many now. And I basically just stuck him up there. But I liked that where I put it right there on my counter, and I have a lot of place to work in here. I'm going to make my son Ian is going to be, this is my kids. My son Ian is going to be, I don't want to show it for too long. He's going to be 29 on Wednesday. So tomorrow I'm going to make him cupcakes. And he can come get like some of the, because I had a lot of shish kebab left over. I know I loved it. And I loved it. I loved the painting. And because it was called Going Home. And not there yet. I don't know. This is home for now. But eventually I think I'm going to go back to California. That's kind of what my parents did, because they moved us to Florida. And then I ended up meeting my ex there. And then he got a job in Georgia, so we ended up raising our children in Georgia for 32 years. My parents moved from Florida, they moved to Texas, and then in 1995 they moved back to California. And so that's where they were when they passed away. I saw some teeny houses that I liked, and I'd like to get a teeny house somewhere in California or some, but I'm not sure where yet. Where in California? Because either somewhere by the beach, but either Pismo Beach area. I was thinking San Diego, but now I'm thinking Pismo Beach area or Klamath, way up north, where you got the forest, the redwood forest. Look at my little animals. I got them in the redwood forest. I got a little elephant and a little owl. They had I went to Grandfather Tree, little gift shop. But anyways, I'm supposed to be talking about mental health, so let's get back on the subject. I've had many counselors through the years, and back when I think it's kind of weird because so my dad was a little bit bipolar, and he never was hospitalized for it. And so when I would have the highs more and the lows, and I thankfully have not as yet had to be hospitalized for my bipolar or depression or anything. And usually with depression is what they get, they seek help for, because when you're in the high part of bipolar, you're happy, you're good, it's like, but it can cause problems if you get too high and too manic. So, but my dad was like a lot in denial about it. He never really, and it's like and then I have had thyroid issues too. And so I struggled with like, do I really have bipolar? Because like the same symptoms, it's like you can be hyper and stuff like that with the hyperthyroidism. And then they burned off some of I had to swallow a radiation pill, and they burned off some of my thyroid with the radiation. That was like in 2010. And and sleep. Do you get good sleep? Sleep is very important to mental health. Get your good sleep. I take something, honestly. I have to take something to help me sleep. So, and since I was married for 30 years and my marriage was difficult, I've been in therapy for a long time. And right now I'm not, and I have debated. And the problem I had when I left Georgia and I was going to do BetterHelp, I knew I was going to be spending some time in California. And even when you're doing online counseling with BetterHelp, you have to have a counselor that's licensed in the state you're in. And so I guess I could have just not said I'm not going to be in this state most of the time, because I spent many months in California and I was by my brother, and then I went up the coast, and then I went back to Illinois. I went 10,000 miles in my RV. So, and I counted up, I spent of the year. So some of the time I was living at my friend Gladys's, which is in Illinois by St. Louis. Some of the time I was living at my brother's at the beginning. That's good. You get a lot of good sleep. Oh, good. Are you gonna do one? Oh, I would love to be a guest for that. Thank you. That would be cool. That would be cool. So yeah, I have a history. Yeah, when I had this really good psychiatrist in Georgia for many years, Dr. Brown. That's right, Dr. Brown. And that was always like one of the first things she asked me, "How are you sleeping?" Because a lot of times when you're bipolar too, when you get manic, you start waking up early. That's what my dad would do. And then you're tired and irritable by the evening time. Yeah, I get into this routine where I stay up. Like when I was up, I was hanging up the pictures like that. First I hung up the bunny first, and then I was trying to decide. I got all this empty wall space, but I'm not gonna hang anything on it like right there, but I'm just having him on that wall, and I have the tree on that wall. And then I have Mikasa, Sukasa right there. Can you see it? But I hung up more things in my bedroom. But yeah, this really good psychiatrist I had, she would always ask me about my sleep patterns, and I found I stayed pretty even keel since with the bipolar since 2003. I didn't have any major episodes. I really didn't. And then I even started tapering off my medications after my divorce, but I'm still on a mood stabilizer. The mood stabilizer she put me on is what helps me sleep. And so I'm still on like a little tiny bit of that. But it's not very much, but I feel like that is really what helps me stay on an even keel. And really what kept me good and what kept me married for so long was my faith, but I was so legalistic with it. But it kept me out of trouble because of like problems like when my brother was on drugs and he passed away in 2005, my oldest brother, Tim. I didn't even drink when my children were coming up, and I was really adamant about it with my ex, and that was just one issue. We didn't agree on anything really, but we didn't agree on it, and it was bound to fall apart eventually. But it's miraculous that we stayed together for 30 years. And I was a goody. And he did go to church and he taught with me at church and stuff like that. But I just really feel like he went along with it, just like, you know, this is what I need to do. And he really agreed with some things in the Baptist church that I don't really agree with anymore, like misogyny and stuff like that, and um, anti um, homosexuals and all of that. And I'm just like, no. So that part. So what I should have done, looking back, is what I did was I threw out the baby with the bathwater when I left my faith, and I was angry because my kids weren't talking to me mostly, and um, you know, I feel like my book got stolen from me. I got date raped, and then the green card guy tried to fool me and get me to marry. I fell in love with this medical student that came to my Airbnb, and so that's why that was part of it too. And I just started questioning everything. But I threw, like, that's the way I look at it now, is I threw the baby out with the bathwater. John is here. Hi, John. Thanks for praying for me. I pray for you too. I pray for all of y'all. And Elaine, I'm still looking for Elaine. What happened to Elaine? Elaine, my friend, come back. Come back. I hope you're okay. Good night, Kenneth. I'll keep praying for you. Good night. Yeah, and bipolar, it so varies. It so varies. I believe my brother Mark, who took his own life. I did the video about him in 2006, and then his birthday happens to be September 10th, which is World Suicide Prevention Day, September 10th. Did I say that right? Yeah, I believe he was bipolar, and everybody's like, it's different. And like, if you've seen any movies on it, like my dad would watch a movie on it and be like, "Oh, I'm not like that," you know. Like there's one, I think with Richard Gere, where he's gonna like thinks he can fly and he's gonna jump off a building or something like that. I think it's Richard Gere. Can't remember what it's called, but there's also that one that's so funny. Hanging Up. Did you ever see that movie Hanging Up? Where their sisters and they hang up. I thought that was funny. That's what my sister and I do. We hang up on each other. Yeah, the movie's called Hanging Up, and their dad's bipolar, but he's really out there too. So my dad, what we can't fly. Oh, darn. Yeah, there's bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. And my doctor couldn't even, like, so I'm like, which do I have? And she's like, well, you're kind of in between. So she couldn't even pin me down. I read, and oh yeah, there's new information too on that. You know what? There's new information too on that. I don't know if he was, something I watched recently didn't say that. It said he had, I'll put that link below too when I find it, because there's a video. He had a rare condition that probably caused his suicide. It was a brain disease, but it wasn't what they originally had thought. I don't think it wasn't, because they think he had Lou Gehrig's disease. Hey, Nancy, welcome in. Try. Parkinson's, that's it. Yeah, that's what they had said, but let me look for a minute. I'm going to put a lot of links below this. I don't know what to search exactly. Oh, okay, here it is. Lewy body dementia. Lewy body dementia. Yes. I found that was very interesting. So they didn't know, and you know, it makes you forget stuff. And let me this one says I need to allow ads. Let's see. Let me see if there's a link to a something that says yeah, I'll find something. My ad block thing is. Oh, that's a really long link. Let me see. Let me see if I can do it. Okay, there's that. It's long, but yeah. Yeah. That is that's a challenging thing. Um I talked about staying with my brother and helping with my sister-in-law when I went to California in 20. I went in December 2020, and I got to spend the last month of her life with my sister-in-law Joyce, and I was closer to her in a lot of ways than I was to my brother. My brother's just really hard to get close to. And she would have those things. She would say things, and sometimes she was aware. She was like, "Oh, my medicine, I see things," and like, and also she had this neat thing happen, which um, uh, where she said she was going to a party and she had the burst of energy you get before a death. I heard that my dad had it too. Um, and she said she was going to a party and she made me go get her makeup and I had to make her promise like she wouldn't get up because she was like so full of energy all of a sudden. And she passed away the next day. but it was kind of a neat thing because she said she was going to a party, like she was getting ready for her arrival in heaven or something. So it was pretty cool. And one thing that was interesting is she just say random stuff. She's like, "Oh, there's Drew Barrymore." And what was interesting about that, I was just like, because I was like, just trying to talk to her, just like to pass the time, and she said, "There's Drew Barrymore." And later, I saw this movie. It's called "I Miss You Already," which was very good, and it was kind of helpful in my grief. And it's a movie with Drew Barrymore in it. And it's about her, and her friend is dying of cancer, and she says, "I miss you already." And so I thought that was interesting. I don't know if it was like a foreshadowing or what. Like, watch this movie, and yeah, and my sister-in-law, maybe that's what we had in common. She was also bipolar. Yes, it's difficult. And so it was difficult, even I felt stressed for a month. I wasn't really prepared for it. And it was kind of good. It was a good thing I didn't have to stay at the house. I was able to go to their smaller house where my nephew lived. And that's where my RV was. And I lived in my RV. And I think I started to say I lived in my RV 32 weeks out of the year, the whole year. So like I lived in it over half the year, and then half of that time I was living at either my brother's house or my friend's house. Yes, it's not an easy thing. Um, and so there's a lot of information out there now, which I'm thankful for. And they shortened the number too. And it's just 988. I'm going to put that in the chat. And so I had to pretty much start over, which that was a good thing for me. I had to pretty much start over, and I had to be like, it was not healthy because my kids were my entire life. My kids and my husband were like my God, and it's like, they shouldn't be, they're important. Yeah. But you gotta keep in balance. Joyce Meyer always reminds you of that verse about be sober, be vigilant. And the Amplified Bible says, be well balanced. For the devil goes around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he can devour. So I think a lot about that, about like just being balanced, like, just not getting, I put so much, and I didn't realize it until like they're gone, and I'm just like devastated, and I'm just like, I didn't want to go on. I didn't want to go on without my kids. And then like I'm finding out, like, my first situation with dating, I get date raped, and then my second situation with dating was the green card guy, and I'm like, okay, all these guys are liars and cheats, and they just want sex or they want money. And I'm just like, now I don't have my kids anymore, and my book was taken from me. I was just a mess. I was just a mess. But and I say in the Box Van D video interview I did with her, I'll link that below also. In the video with Box Van D, I said this song came out, the video for I Will Rescue You. It's called Rescue by Lauren Daigle. And just like that song so spoke to me. And she says, and it's interesting because it wasn't one thing that saved me, that got me out of the hole. It was me saying, like I said in the video I did before, and I struggled to do that video. I was like, I'm gonna do the video today because it was his birthday, and it was World Suicide Prevention Day, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this video today. I put it off till evening. I didn't want to do it, you guys. I didn't want to do it. I really didn't. I was apprehensive about doing it. I didn't want to do it. Although, I've said this stuff, before in other videos, but I was going to say more and share more, but ultimately, it was my kids, and and the rejection from them that made me want to die. But ultimately, it was them that was like, I can't leave them with this legacy. I thought, well, if there's some way I can do it where they don't know. I was like, Mark, you're a genius, Mark, my brother Mark. I was glad my mom they didn't say, or they didn't say he had something in his system or anything, or I don't think he told them he took something. I don't know. But he had a heart attack, and he was very overweight and not healthy. He drank a lot. He didn't smoke. My other brother smoked too. So, but I wanted to just disappear. But I was like, I didn't have any, my finances were tight, and I didn't want to touch the money that was from my ex that I put in a stock, like a 401k. I don't want to touch that. And I had credit cards. That's why I was doing that. I was donating blood plasma. I was doing the Airbnb, and then I stopped doing the Airbnb, and then I was selling everything in my house, which was helpful. And because I got to the point where I couldn't do the Airbnb anymore. It was just too triggering because of, I never knew when I was going to get that crazy guest. Oh my goodness. I got guests that, I don't know. I just had some crazy guests after Muhammad. And then I started being paranoid about Muhammad because it was like the same thing with Muhammad as with the shady publishers. It's like I couldn't do anything about it. So I wrote a blog post about Muhammad, and he read it, and he got mad, and he called me, and that terrified me. Oh, it terrified me, and I thought he's going to send someone to my Airbnb to and so yeah, it got me, that did cause me some anxiety. But I never did have, I still didn't have as bad anxiety as I had this past fall when I had been away from God for 2 years, and then stuff with the bully online, that was just awful. But I'm not going to say too much. That's all I'm going to say about that, because I'm trying not to say anything about that. But anyways, it caused me anxiety. If anybody cares, but I feel like some people don't. But anyways, but those aren't the people here. So thank you all for being here. Hey, Arnie. So I'm almost to an hour, 55 minutes. Thank you all for being here. I've been asking people at my lives what they think about the thank you. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all very much. How are you, Arnie? So so where was I? Yeah, that's a lot of my history. A lot of stuff. Sometimes I get upset with how slow my progress is, but I'm making progress at least. Thanks, Troy. Tell them all hello. Drama. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I was going to say too, I just got started on the channels that are helpful to me. Lisa A. Romano, Crappy Childhood Fairy, Therapy in a Nutshell. I just found a new one. Let's see what it's called. What is it called? And how about staying away from certain things, you guys? That's what I will say. Something else. Something else about the bullying situation. You guys, I can't go to those channels. I used to go to those channels occasionally, not all the time, but and right when it was happening, I had to stop watching them. And then I was like, I'm really like, I don't know if people don't believe me because I don't look like, especially with my tattoos and stuff, I don't look like it, but I was before I got the tattoos. But the tattoos have nothing to do with it. I was a goody, really goody. I mean, don't lie. I didn't drink. I didn't, nothing. When I got date raped, I had only been with my husband, because I met him at 17, got married at 19, I had 5 babies. No time to be bad. Anyways, I was working in church. I was homeschooling. I was, but I was really a goody, and it kept me, it did keep me from trouble. And, I didn't drink. A therapist or a psychiatrist maybe said to my mom about my dad that be thankful he didn't drink, because he didn't drink a lot, and he would get a headache and he would have a glass of wine or 2 of wine with my mom, but it would give him a headache. And the therapist or I don't know if it was a therapist or a psychiatrist, one or the other, said be thankful he doesn't drink because it makes the bipolar much worse. Hey, Pam. Hi. Hello. Welcome. I can go a little over, but I recently found another. I'll share it below. I can't remember what it's called right now. I recently found another great video. Thank you. Yeah, I just recently got it cut. I've had the same haircut since 2016. In 2016, it just got shorter and shorter and shorter. And until it was really, really short, I had it really short. I didn't even have this long part. And I didn't even like it, really. I was like, it's too short for me. I don't like it. But I saw this girl who really, she could pull it off. I don't know. She had it really short. And she said, and my son said, Ian said, Mom, your hair is shorter than mine when it was that short. Um, so I saw this hairstyle like this on Pinterest. And I'm like, I'm going to grow the top part out. So that is what I did. Yes, I was very busy. Very, very busy. Um, but yeah, always trying to figure out what's wrong with us. I knew I was codependent for a while, and I had a bad experience with a recovery group in my church that I was going to, and so I experienced really it was spiritual abuse in that recovery group, and they had me like under. Like, what are you doing wrong? And she didn't believe that I was codependent. And that was when I got sent to the sex addicts class. I only slept with my husband. And it's like, what? So I left and I joined the choir, and I loved the choir. I loved the choir. That was like therapy to me for a while, but I was still having problems. I was having problems with one of my children was having problems with depression, and the issues my child was having sent me back to the recovery group because I was still in the church. It was a big, like almost like a mega church in Georgia, Baptist church, and I should have never went back to it because it was because this person was just dead set against me, and I wanted to help in the recovery group, and then it ended up there was just it's just a long, involved, and crazy story. Maybe will be in my book. I'm hoping to have more time to write now that I'm in like one place settled here. I hope to have more time to write this winter. So yeah, I'll be writing the book. I think I'm going to call it Welcome to Reds. Because that's where y'all are at. This is Reds. Is what I call my Airbnb. And so yeah, I think I'll call it Welcome to Reds. But I'm probably going to have all that story in there. So look for my book, you guys. Pray for me. Pray for Red, and Red will keep praying for you. I hope this was helpful. I hope that sharing this, well, it can't really get me any more haters, I don't think. That's a good thing about having a lot of haters. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Like it helps me when I just don't focus. Like, and then once in a while, I'll be curious. I'll go over there to one of their channels, and then some of them are people that have, people that I didn't think I would lose my friendship with, but then, I feel like they turned on me and they sided with they said they weren't going to take sides, but then they sided with, and I'm just like, it's heartbreaking. It really is. And it's just like, I try not to go so much to their channels. And I got tagged today, you guys. Oh, from a year ago video I'm in, and I'm just like, man, like, do you have to tag me? Leave me alone. Oh, well. But anyways, Oh, thanks, Pam. Thanks, Jolly. Yeah, that's what I had hoped to do. You want to hear a funny story? That's my name story. But so I like to pun that. That's a whole other story. But yeah, I was gonna write about so my husband built a big house, and we were married for 30 years. Like I was gonna write the book because I could have wrote the book on how to stay in a difficult marriage. I was gonna do that, which is sort of ironic. Now I can write this story about how to get out of a difficult marriage. And this month, you guys, y'all, is on the 22nd is the 2-year anniversary of my escape from Georgia. Some people even are like, don't say that, sounds so negative. Don't say escape from Georgia. And then I was like, wait, what's the name of that group I joined? The RVers that travel around. Oh, you know what they're called? They're called the escapers. Why does that have to be a negative? I escaped from something that was bad for me. Not that Georgia is bad. Georgia is Georgia is a fine state. Georgia even went blue. I did a funny video about that with Southern Red. I gotta think of some Southern Red and Cali Red videos to do for y'all. I gotta go back to do that. Oh, and you guys, coming up at Red's. Red's gonna edit a video of her trip to California. So pray for me about that too. I'm gonna do that. 2 years of becoming free, yeah. Yeah, and learning about myself and straightening myself out. I'm getting my shit together. Oh yeah. You know what? Let me leave you with this video. I love this artist, Aurora. She's named after a place in Colorado. No. Aurora is where I first camped. This is like my theme song, you guys. I just feel like it speaks so much to codependency. So I'm going to put this link in there so you guys could go listen to it if you want. It's called I Went Too Far. And it just very much describes my codependency and just getting too obsessed with a YouTuber, helping him out with his channel. Be helpful to my channel if you chase me around, Red, and I run from you. Anyways, but it's a video that's, I feel like she's describing me, and I feel like a lot of singers will sing something that so many people relate to, and that's why it gets so popular and so many people can empathize with it and relate to it, resonate. That was the word I was looking for. Resonates with a lot of people. But thanks, fam. Thank you all for coming in. I love you guys. I appreciate it. If you have any ideas for what would be a good time, a better time than right now for me to go live, if you got any ideas, you can email me. I have a new P.O. box if you want to snail mail me. Yeah, I love y'all. Thank you for your support. And keep praying for Red, and Red will pray for you. I love you. Bye.